concepts, communication protocols, network services and benefits, a brief history of the internet and the World Wide Web. So, um, what is network? A network SITA is a collection of computers, servers, mainframes, network devices, peripherals, or other devices connected to one another to allow the sharing of data. An excellent example of a network is the internet, which connects millions of people all over the world. So, uh, internet is a worldwide system of interconnected networks and the computers. Uh, the word of internet is a short form of internetworking. Don't forget, okay? Internetworking. Short form of internetworking. Next is history of internet. Mhm. So the history of the internet began in the late 50s of the 20th century, namely when the first artificial satellite was launched in the USSR in 1957. At the height of the Cold War, the Soviet Union's capture of outer space posed a serious threat to the United States. It was necessary to accelerate the pace of development of the latest protection systems. To this end, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, ARPA, was created in 1957. This organization was interested in the question of whether it is possible to connect computers located in different places using telephone lines. Their goal was to organize a data transmission network capable of functioning in a nuclear conflict. In January 1969, a system was first launched that linked four computers in different parts of the United States. A year later, a new information network called ARPANET was already operational. Every year, ARPANET grew and developed, and from a military on the secret network um, become more and more accessible to various organizations. In 1973, the network went international. In 1983, ARPANET access mechanism called TCP/IP was introduced. This protocol made it easy to connect to the internet using a telephone line. So one of the first computer networks to use packet switching, ARPANET. ARPANET was developed in the mid-19th and the 1960s. ARPANET, short form of Advanced Research Projects Administration, ARPANET. The first message was sent on October 29, 1969 in the USA. Next is types of computer network. How do you think? How many types of computer networks are there? Who knows? types of computer network.
Local and public.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There are two types of computer network.
Only two types.
Yeah, I think so.
So you said local and the public?
Public network.
Okay. Okay. So types of computer network. PAN, LAN, MAN, and WAN. Yeah, PAN, personal area network, square meter around person, and LAN, local area network, MAN, metropolitan area network, and the WAN, wide area network. So, what is personal area network? How do you think? What is personal area network? How do you think? Why do we call personal area network? Because
Сейчас, я чуть-чуть опоздал. Или сильно зашел.
Елжас?
Чуть опоздал. Елжас.
Can I answer?
Yes.
A personal area network is a computer network for in connecting electronic devices on an individual person's
Yes.
workspace.
Okay, thank you, Nazım. So, personal area network is the smallest, and the most basic type of network. Yeah. PAN or personal area network is made up of a wireless modem, a computer or two phones, printers, tablets, and etc. revolves around one person in one building. This type of networks are typically found in small office or residences and are managed by one person or organization from a single device. The second type of computer network is, local area network. I'm also confident that you have heard about this type of network before. LANs are the most frequently discussed network, yeah? One of the most common, one of the most original, and one of the simple types of networks, local area network. Connects groups of computers and low voltages devices together across short distances within a building or between a group of 2 or 3 buildings in close proximity to each other to share information and resources. Enterprises typically manage and maintain LANs. Using routers, LANs can connect to wide area networks to rapidly and safely transfer data. So the third type of computer network is MAN. MAN, metropolitan area network. Городской сеть, можно сказать. These types of networks are larger than LANs, but smaller than wide area network, and incorporate elements from both types of networks. MAN span an entire geographic area. For example, typically a town or city, but sometimes a campus. Ownership and maintenance is handled by either a single person or company, a local council, for example, and a larger and a small company. Range within 100 kilometers. So next type is wide area network. slightly more complex than a LAN and the LAN and the metropolitan area MAN. Wide area network connects computers together across longer physical distances. This allows computers and low voltage devices to be remotely connected to each other over one larger network to communicate even when they are miles apart. The internet is the most basic example of WAN, connecting all computers together around the world. Because of a WAN's vast reach, it's typically owned and maintained by multiple administrators or the public, and the additional types of computer network. WLAN, VLAN, Wireless Local Area Network. Functioning like a LAN, VLANs make us a wireless network technology. For example, Wi-Fi, typically seen in the same types of applications as LANs. This type of networks don't require that devices rely on physical cables to connect to network. And also we have storage area network as a dedicated high-speed network that connects shared pools of storage devices to several servers. This type of networks don't rely on a LAN or WAN. Instead, they move storage resources away from the network and place them into their own high-performance network. Storage area network can be accessed in the same fashion as a drive attached to a server. Types of storage area networks include converged, virtual, and unified SANs. And system area network. System area network. This term is fairly new within the past 2 decades. It is used to explain a relatively local network that is designed to provide high-speed connection in server-to-server applications, cluster environments, storage area networks, and the processor-to-processor applications. The computers connected on a system area network operate as a single system at very high speeds. Понятно, да? So, how do computers connect to each other over the internet? How do you think? How do computers connect to each other over the internet?
How computers connected?
Mm.
Or it's connected between internet and computer?
Okay, computers connect to each other to transmit data between them and they communicate with each other using the TCP/IP protocols. Have you ever heard about it? TCP/IP? Okay, TCP, Transmission Control Protocol, IP, Internet Protocol. So what does it mean? For example, think of TCP/IP as a book of rules, a step-by-step guide.
Ага, вас не слышно.
Не слышно? Так, есть втором двустороннее. Так, а теперь слышно, да? Есть то, что там? Do you hear me?
Yes.
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 So, TCP/IP. Let's continue. Sorry. So, think of TCP/IP as a book of rules, a step-by-step guide that each computer uses to know how to talk to another computer. So this book of rules dictates what each computer must do to transmit data, when to transmit data, how to transmit data, how to transmit that data. It also states how to receive data in the same manner. If the rules are not followed, the computer will not be able to connect to another computer. Еще раз повторяю. If the rules are not followed, the computer will not be able to connect to another computer, nor send and receive data between other computers. So we use TCP/IP protocols to connect to each other over the internet. So what is an IP address? IP stands for Internet Protocol. An IP address is a product to allow one computer to communicate with another via internet. An IP address might look like 145.737.5. and 150. То есть IP address of the computer have 4 bytes. Especially the first and the second bytes determines address of the network, and the third byte subnetwork, and the last byte address of their computer. То есть IP адрес компьютера имеет длину 4 байта. Первый и второй байты определяют адрес сети. Вот первый и второй байт определяет адрес сети. А третий байт определяет под сети, вот номер 5. А четвертый, вот 150, адрес компьютера или адрес другого устройства в подсети. То есть для удобства IP-адрес описывается в виде 4 чисел со значением от 0 до 255, разделенных точками. Next thing is network topology. Топология сети. What is network topology? Is a way of describing the configuration of the network, the layout and the connection of network devices. So the first type of computer network is bus topology. Bus topology networks use a linear mono-channel coaxial cable for a data transmission at the ends of which terminating resistors are installed. Each computer is connected to a coaxial cable using a T connector. With a T connector. Data from the transmitting network node is transmitted along the bus in both directions, reflected from the terminators. Terminators prevent signal reflections. For example, they are used to suppress signals that reach the ends of the data link. Thus, information arrives at the all nodes, but is received only by the nodes which it is intended. In the topology of the logical bus, the transmission medium is used jointly and simultaneously by all PCs in the network, and the signals from the PC are distributed simultaneously in all directions of the transmission controls. Since signaling in the topology of the physical bus is broadcasts, for example, signals simultaneously in all directions, then the logical topology of this local network is logical bus. So, advantages and disadvantages of the bus topology. Failure of one of the nodes doesn't affect the operation of the network as a whole. The network is easy to set up and configure. The network is resistant to malfunctions of individual nodes. Disadvantages of bus topology. A cable break can affect the operation of the entire network. Limited cable lengths and the number of workstations. Connections defects are difficult to identify. Star topology. In a star topology network, each workstation is connected by a cable, twisted pair, we can say also, to a hub. The hub provides a parallel connection of the PCs and those all computers connected to the network, and this network can communicate. Data from the transmitting stations of the network is transmitted through the hub. Over all communications lines to all PCs. Information arrives at all workstations, but it is received only by those stations for which it is intended. Since the signaling in the physical star topology is broadcast, since signals from a PC are distributed simultaneously in all directions, the logical topology of this local network is logical bus. The next type, benefits and the disadvantages of star topology. Easy to connect a new PC, personal computer. There is a possibility of centralized management. The network is resistant to malfunctions of individual PC and the disconnections of individual PCs. Disadvantages of star topology network. A high failure affects the operation of the entire network and the high cable consumption. Ring topology. Ring topology is a network with a ring topology All nodes are connected by communication channels into a continuous ring through which data is transmitted. The output of one PC connects to the inputs of another PCs. Having started the movement from one point, the data eventually gets to its beginning. The data in the ring always moves in the same direction. So the receiving workstation recognizes and receives only the message addressed to it. A network with a physical ring topology uses token access, which grants a station the right to use a ring in a specific order. The logical topology of this network is a logical ring. This network is very easy to create and configure. This is the main advantages of the ring topology. It's very easy to create and configure. So the main disadvantages of ring topology network is that damage to the communication line in one place or failure of the PC leads to the inoperability of the entire network. Tree topology. The tree topology structure gets its name from how the central node functions as a sort of trunk for the network, with nodes extending outward in a branch-like fashion. However, where each node is a star topology is directly connected to the central hub, a tree topology has a parent-child hierarchy to how the nodes are connected. Those connected to the central hub are connected linearly to another nodes. So two connected nodes only share one mutual connection. Because the tree topology structure is both extremely flexible and scalable, it's often used for wide area networks to support many spread of devices. Pros and the cons of tree topology. Combining elements of the star and the bus topologies allows for the easy addition of nodes and the network expansions. And cons of tree topology, as with the star topology, the entire network depends on the health of the root nodes in a tree topology structure. Sorry. Так, mesh topology. So what is mesh topology? Mesh topology is an intricate and elaborate structure of point-to-point connections where the nodes are interconnected. Mesh topology networks can be full or partial mesh. Partial mesh topologies are mostly interconnected, with a few nodes with only 2 or 3 connections, while full mesh topologies are separate, fully interconnected. Advantages and disadvantages of mesh topology. Mesh topologies are reliable and stable, and the complex degree of interconnectivity between nodes makes the networks resistant to failure. For example, no single device going down can bring the network offline. Disadvantages of mesh topology. Mesh topologies are incredibly labor intensive. Each interconnection between nodes requires a cable and a configuration once deployed, so it can also be time consuming to set up. Так, the last type of topology is hybrid topology. Hybrid topology hybrid topologies combine two or more different topology structures. The tree topology is a good example, integrating the bus and the star layouts. Hybrid structures are most commonly found in larger campaigns where individual departments have personalized network topologies adapted to suit their needs and the network usage. We have just less than 1 minute, students. So I will create a new meeting, okay, and send you a new link.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Please wait.